Ladies and gentlemen, we will go into our second knowledge session. And for that, I would like to call upon stage our session chairman, Mr. Sudeep Dey, Mr. S. Venkateshwaran, and Mr. Pramod Soneta. I humbly request Mr. Sudeep Dey to please felicitate Mr. S. Venkateshwaran. I would kindly request Mr. Kiran Nagare to please felicitate Mr. Dey. Mr. Kiran Nagare. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Nagare. I now request Mr. Dey to please address our convention. Mr. Dey.
Hello and good morning. And everyone wished me good morning. It's afternoon, you'll all had your lunch. And I say good morning, no one ever responds. So anyway, good afternoon and welcome to this session of relationship management, an intangible asset to the organization. See, in this convention, we've spoken about being agile, being adept, and to be able to accelerate, right? So today, we are talking about acceleration today, since morning. Agile and being adept were touched on and spoken about yesterday. So first thing we need to get clear is that to accelerate today, we need a good team with us. And I would first like to take this opportunity to thank the Business Session Committee for putting such good subjects for discussion. Our convener chairman Ashish Pednekar, and of course our federation chairman Debashish Datta for putting the right people in the right places so that the right things can be done. And a person who I know personally who has a very good relationship management himself. So thank you. And speaking about introducing today's topic, talking about acceleration, we must have a team. A good team must have a good teamwork. A good teamwork, in order to have a good teamwork, you need to have a good relation with your team. And to manage that relationship, this is what we must know, that is what we are here for, and this is what our next speaker will be introducing to you. So you would also, every one of us would also admit the fact that we are primarily custom brokers. To be a custom broker, we first do our graduate, we work for some time, we get a G card, we sit for an exam, we get an oral exam, and then we get a license, and then we have set up our own business. But at the end of the day, if we don't have a good relationship management within us, if we don't have people skills within us, everything falls flat. So this topic is very important to us, and please pay attention to our speaker and allow me to introduce our speaker. This session, I assure you that we are talking about relationship management with staffs, with vendors, with customers, customs, and last but not least, our family. So allow me to introduce our speaker for this session today, Mr. S. Venkateswaran, but better known as SV. Now, when a person is fondly known by a name other than his actual name, we know that this person is different. He's not an ordinary person, he's a likable person, and he's supposed to be a good person. He's not a statistic, he is a person with some difference. So, Mr. SV is a chartered accountant, cost accountant, and company secretary with 31 years post-qualification experience in managing finance, corporate affairs divisions in managing finance and corporate affairs division in pharmaceutical industries, automobile industries, and have developed large functional teams in India and abroad. He has successfully carried out various workshops during his professional career, including those on vision and values, risk management, stress management, conflict management, effective executive and leadership. During his last 2 years, SV has moved from professional life to professional field, evolving a learning and counseling model for corporate executives to empower their mind and enrich their performance skills and achievement. His workshop under his program, Magic of Mind Power, which is not a book or he's not authored anything. It is just a series of seminars and workshops he conducts instead of writing a boring book which we have to go through. It is a very nice interactive manner in which he conveys the secrets of relationship management. And of course, he's a Rotarian and has given motivational talks in several Rotary clubs besides being a faculty in the Rotary district training seminars. Friends, I assure you that this session will be a highly interactive session, and after the session you'll have a lot of takeaways, not just takeaways, but actually practical takeaways. So the Federation is proud to present to you SV sir. A big round of applause, please.
Somebody's come. Hello? Am I audible? Good afternoon. Namaskar. Sat Sri Akal. Jai Shri Krishna. Vanakkam. Salam Alaikum. Jai Maharashtra. This is a national convention. Pardon me, my throat has become bad. I was on antibiotic for 3 days. Somehow I got up. I'll try to do my justice. The organizing committee met me a couple of weeks back. They said, tell me one sentence about you. I said, I love challenges. Here it is. Your session is immediately after lunch. Because that's the most challenging for any speaker. But nonetheless, it's easy for me to handle this challenge. You know why? I normally don't like to lecture. Because as experienced businessmen, we all want to learn, but nobody wants to be taught. You don't teach me. But I want to learn. So I normally don't teach, I don't explain, I don't educate, and seldom I use laptop. I want interactive because these are all the learning and counseling which will come from the audience. Normally I address an audience of about 25, 30. Here is almost 10 times of that. Nonetheless, you have got a wonderful event manager, Hari Ayyappan, big round of applause for him. He said, not to worry, my boys and girls are there on all rounds, in the corners of the room, 4, 5 areas. So as I keep putting questions, I want each one of you to participate, preferably from all the segments, not only from the front segment. So if someone has spoken over there, let it pass it down over there because this is going to be highly interactive, a subject on which anybody can speak. So I'm privileged that I have been given this role on this platform. So is that okay with you all? Okay, so we will be make it very interactive. I'll be putting the poster questions on the screen. The topic given to me was relationship management and I added on my own key to business success. Somebody said rightly that unless it helps me in my business, why should I really bother about managing the relationship? But in order to put the things in perspective, what I was also told, if I can touch upon the subject from four segments. One is relationship management with staff, relationship management with customers, relationship management with vendors, and relationship management with family, because most of them are family-owned businesses. Dushyant sir came to me just before I was climbing my steps. I know the previous topic was costing and wealth creation. So he asked me, "Kitna discount dega?" I said 50%. I was allotted 1 hour. I said I'll reduce it in half an hour. So Dushyant sir, here it is 50% discount. Although my allotted time is 1 hour, I know we are overstretching. But nonetheless, for me, it is no problem to stay as long as you want me to stay here. No problem. So I will watch the time. Hopefully by 4:25, I'll try to close the session, my session. Yeah? Okay. So here is a closer question I'm going to put, because this is not something that I can talk with authority. I want a response from the audience. All the hand mics are ready at the different corners of the room. Okay. The first question is, relationship management, is it an art or a science? Please shoot out your response. Hold your mic, tell your name and tell the answer. Please, so that everybody can hear what you're telling. Is it an art or a science? I want one answer so that everybody can benefit. Please speak on the mic, tell your name and tell the answer.
This is art, sir.
Sir, please stand and say, it's an art. Why do you say it is an art? Yes, sir, yourself, sir.
No, I say it is art and science, both combination of both.
You want to be diplomatic. No, tell. It could be art, but tell why it is art. Tell also why it is science. As simple as that, please.
It's art, sir. My
Yes.
name is Deepak Chaudhary. It's art because it is the way of handling the things or managing the things in a different way.
Sir, I am a mridangam player, which is an art, okay? I don't think everybody can play mridangam, right? So, if you say it's an art, that means unless I start practice, I cannot manage my people, my staff. Point to ponder. I'm not trying to challenge you or this thing. Yes, anybody else?
Sir, it's an art,
It is an art.
yes. Because there's no one particular way. Science is something which
Okay.
we apply. There's no one way of.
Okay, fair
Uh,
enough. That's not
relationship.
defined rule, how you manage. Person is not a product. Very good. We are dealing with human beings, isn't it? If I have a feeling as a boss, even the subordinates have got a feeling. How can you say that he doesn't have a feeling? Yeah? Good.
Sir, it is both an art and science.
Thank you, sir. Can you tell me why it is science?
Yeah, of course I can tell you, because relationship is a very complex relation thing. So to manage relationship, whether it is in family, whether it is in office, whether it is with the customers and vendors, you have to be careful, you have to be scientific, you have to be with an analytical mind, you have to understand psychology. So all these things make it's
So
both an
you
art.
need to. So you say it is a science because you need to understand the psychology. A big round of applause to the gentleman. At least he was the one who said it could be a science also. Okay. Now next poster question. Is it a skill or a knowledge or an attitude? Attitude. Somebody said attitude. Yes, sir. Any other answer? So if I'm a short-tempered, I can never be kind to my staff. Okay? You need not be short-tempered. That's good. Okay.
It's knowledge.
It's knowledge. He said you need not be short-tempered because suddenly sir remembered. Sir, I'll pick on people. Don't feel bad. Huh? Because I said I'm also going to cover the family, relationship management. No, when you marriage your relationship with 5, you better not be angry. Huh? That's what he said. You cannot be angry.
So
also.
it's a
Yes, sir.
skill.
It's a knowledge. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a knowledge.
It's a knowledge. Okay.
Because knowledge makes a man prudent.
Good. So if you want to know, you can know and then start implementing. Yes.
It's a skill, sir.
It is a skill.
It's art
So
of
you need to practice. It's a practice.
Yeah.
So it's all way, isn't it? Skills, knowledge, practice. But by the way, very interesting, we are talking about relationship management. I want to know who manages whom. Because the subject is The subject is relationship with staff, management, relationship with customers, relationship with vendors, relationship with family. Now, relationship with customer becomes a relationship for vendors for you. What if he doesn't adopt the same technique what you adopt when you manage with your vendors? Interesting, isn't it? So sometimes we think we are managing the wife, and wife thinks they are managing us. And both don't manage each other. You get that point? It's very, very common in all the places. So where is the meeting point? Who is managing whom? So I come to my topic, manage yourself. You manage your mind, manage situation. And that's very interesting. We are talking about management. Who else could be a better guru in management than Peter Drucker? I'll take you through a couple of slides to bring relevance to this subject, and then again come back to the subject of relationship management. Pardon me for 2, 3, 4 slides, I'll put that. Peter Drucker said 5 M's of management, which everyone knows. Man management, materials management, machines management, minutes management, that is time management, and money management. In these 5 M's of management, there are 2 commonalities. One, they are outward focus. I want to grow my business. I want 10 more staff. Whom should I recruit? So I look out who is the best person to be recruited. And their approach is reactive. How do I repay my bank loan? Who else will give me? Should I go for? So it's all reactive because you've got a huge debt you want to. So it's looking outward and reactive. Let us park it for a while. Peter Drucker has done a wonderful job. We'll go back to our current melody. If I can claim what I started my career almost 35 years back and what I compare it now, what's happening, everyone manages others, no one manages situation. I had an interesting interaction with my 15-year experienced chartered accountant. One day he suddenly comes to me, boss, you think you are managing us? I said, what is this question? Of course I am the boss, I am managing. We also manage the boss. We use ABC principle. So, okay, ABC principle. Sir, avoid the boss. Acha. I was very curious to know what are, if you can't avoid the boss, B, bypass the boss, go to boss's boss. And both are not possible, C, confuse the boss. Now, if you are not achieving the sales target, put a nice PowerPoint slide in such a way that if anybody else would have been there, they would have done 60% of target, we have done 80% for you. Boss is very happy because they manage the boss, not realizing that they are not achieving the target. But we are not managing the situation how to achieve 100% targets. But when this told me, I thought probably that is true. And it is becoming more and more rampant as we move forward. Communication predominantly using devices with the least human touch. You are hired by SMS, fired by WhatsApp. No human touch. Nuclear families, elderly people are not there to guide. So you are all by himself, you just decide whatever you want to do, and tremendous peer pressure. At the age of 27, I want a 3-bedroom hall kitchen in Iranandani, whether I can afford or not. So in the process, what happens is, what is the consequent results? Poor performance. You are not able to give your best. Dilemmas in decision making. You do not know whether to turn to right or turn to left. And in the process, values are compromised. Without quoting any specific names, we know a lot of corporate honchos who have achieved pinnacle of success, but later on they are caught up in big fraud or they are landed in jail. Simple reason, they could manage 10,000 employees, 50,000 employees. They could not manage their mind. That is the inference. If you could have managed your mind, you would have managed the situation. So very important that we all have to manage ourselves before we thought managing others. So in these days of WhatsApp, you get good morning, lot of good messages also you get, right? One good message which you must all come through, which I'm going to put forward. Thoughts leads to words, words leads to action. You all heard about this? Action leads to habits, habits develop into character, character decides destiny. So from thoughts to destiny, I'm going one step prior. What trigger thoughts? Mind, the 6th M of management. Friends, it's time for us to consider our own mind and its great power. It's got a tremendous power and to make the best use of it to handle the situation. I'm going to give a small 30 seconds exercise on mind power. Don't get scared. I'm not going to hypnotize you. But before that, I want to share some of the wise men, what they are told about mind. What you think, you become. Buddha says, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. The energy of mind is the essence of life, Aristotle. The empires of the future are the empires of the mind. And our own Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar says, cultivation of the human mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence. So much importance given to mind power. Now, what is this mind power we are talking about? But let's not getting into the technicalities, no definition, etc. Let's experiment it in a very, very short exercise of 30 seconds. But don't doze off, because I will be asking you to close your eyes for a few seconds. Not now. When I tell close your eyes, at that time you please close your eyes. Okay? And then I'm going to say something. After that I say open your eyes. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. But be honest to yourself. When I say something, when you are closing your eyes, be honest to yourself, because I'm going to ask you something after you open your eyes. Okay? All of you are ready? Mics are, you are all there with the mics. Okay. So all of you, please close your eyes. Think something red in color. Think something red in color. Please open your eyes. I want few responses, what he or she thought during that 5-10 seconds. Yes? Traffic signal. That's enough. Good. Anybody else?
Tomato.
Huh?
Tomato.
Tomato. Yes? Rose. Heart. Okay?
Red signal.
Hello. Sir,
Please speak on the mic. I can't
a
hear.
bundle of 1,000 rupees notes.
That is because the immediately previous topic was wealth creation. He's already thought about it. Very good.
Canada flag. Flag of Canada.
Sorry?
Flag of Canada.
Okay.
Hello. Blood. Blood.
The matador.
Blood. Blood. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See, I didn't say anything. The choice was given to you. Think something of red in color. Okay? Without quoting anybody. Dushin sir, no problem. Traffic lights. I want to go by 25% market share. Not possible. We are competing with Ambani and Birla. Blood. I'll go for the kill. Why 30%? I'll go for 50%. Tomato. Not a problem. We should try it. This is what happens, triggers. This thought, because choice is yours. How to think, you can do it. If you want to think it is a danger thing, heart, you become very emotional. Staff ko zyada gussa mat karo. Because so you become little bit emotional in dealing with your staff. Your own brother-in-law might be the operation manager, and you don't shout at him if he doesn't perform. Because after all, Sala hai na kya karega? You understand that, but you have got to distinguish between when it comes to relationship management as to how you need to. Sorry, I'm getting dry because I was on antibiotic for a couple of days. Today my throat is okay. Pardon me, I'll be sipping water in between because it's just getting sticky. It was a heavy dose of antibiotic. My throat went totally bad. Okay. So we have done this exercise. Coming back to our subject. Inspired India, surging ahead on agile, adapt and accelerator logic. Fantastic title. I think it's very important in this context, the topic that given to me, managing our own mind, how to become inspired. You know, you don't have to go to any school, you don't have to anybody come to you, become inspired. If you want to become inspired, you can be inspired. It's up to you. Nobody else can tell you. Even without telling, you can become inspired. So in this context, we are going to address these 4 relationship management topics: staff, customers, vendors, and family. But in order to focus our discussion, I thought I will take one key area in each of these segments as a poser question. And if we can get some practical takeaways for this poser question, I think we have done our job. So what are the poser questions I put for each of these 4 segments? As regards the staff, how to make your staff skillful and proficient. Good enough? If you get some takeaway, how to make your staff skillful and proficient, I think some takeaway if you get, I think you got your job done. In terms of customers, how to remain expert and responsive with your customer. How to remain expert and responsive with your customer. I will circulate this presentation to the Dushyant sir. He can circulate all the members, no problem. In terms of vendors, how to develop vendors who are alert and active. These are all bringing in context to the theme of the conference. Inspired India, Agile, Adapt and Accelerated Growth, logistics role on that. And finally, in terms of family, how to foster and nurture a graceful family. You are all happy if you get two takeaways for all these 4 questions? You will be happy at the end of the day? Thank you. So we will go. We'll find out what takeaway could be appropriate for each of these 4 questions. First, how to make your staff skillful and proficient. This is the question for us to answer with 2 takeaway. And in order that the answers come from the audience, I'm going to put one question in front of you and I want responses. What is the question I'm putting in front of you? How many of you believe that your staff are not competent and are not dependable? Please raise your hands. How many of you, sir, and you have to answer why you say your staff is not competent or not dependable. Speak on the mic if you don't mind. Mics are around. It will be a good learning for everybody. Be frank, because there's no right or wrong answer.
The thing is, my staff will not be competent enough because we need to keep on educating them on our day-to-day activities.
Okay.
They are not dependable because they will be looking for other opportunities.
Okay. Any other response? You need to keep on telling them again and again. They don't listen to you. Yes, sir.
I will say about this competent, because the problem is everybody is looking for the new opportunities, as in when we talk about staff, and how much ever we do for them, it is still insufficient all the time. So that's a worry. That's why you never know when you should depend and when you should not.
They don't stick for long.
Yep.
Also, they always look around. I did a small program for Vocard when they launched their business division. And this is the GM was telling that I pay them 25 lakh, 30 lakhs, by a couple of lakhs, they change the job. So I had a small session for half an hour. What is the secret to remain happy? I touched upon that. But that's a very valid point. But then you just saw the inflation, 7% per annum. ज़्यादा पगार मिलेगा तो वो तो जाएगा ही ना, क्यों रोकने का, कैसा रोकेगा? Anyway, anybody else from this side? How many of you believe that your staff are not competent and are not dependable? And why? Please share your thoughts, share your experience. Keep an open mind. Anyone else? Everybody thinks that staff are good. Why not? Why not? Absolutely. We must. Yes, sir.
Everybody thinks the staffs are competent and dependable because we are not competent and dependable. So we have to depend on them.
Yeah. That reminds me, when Ronald Reagan was made the president of India, he was a film actor, So the president of United States. Yeah. So sorry, I said India. I'm so patriotic, you see, Kishore. I'm so patriotic. I'm so sorry. So the reporter said, you are not an expert and you are going to manage such a big democracy in the world. He said, why not? I may not be an expert, but surrounded by experts, So that's what rightly you said. What happens if you think that your staff are not competent or not dependable? You automatically, with your interaction, you sort of instill fear and failure. The moment you instill fear and failure, it will lead to further fear and failure. Instead, if you start trusting them and putting more positive, instill courage and commitment. You need to instill courage and commitment. What happens automatically, and that courage and commitment also translates into retention factor. Trust me one thing, people don't change the job for money. They join the company because the company is good. They change the company because the boss is bad. And that's a universal law. And it is not that you try to be good when that person is about to resign, or he has already thought of resigning 2 years back because something went wrong. Everybody is committed. Think like that. You manage yourself. If you think others are bad, others are bad. If you think others are good, automatically your thought process, you will also instill your actions, your words in such a way that they get courage and they take commitment, they take decisions. And you are very happy on that. So, good takeaway, one of the takeaways which I will share at the end, instill courage and commitment. Now, another question related to staff, what all you consider while giving promotions or increments to your staff? What all you consider? Yeah? Family owned businesses? Sorry? Dedication, okay, fine. Any other factor?
Company making profits on the basis of that. The company is making profit, definitely the promotions have to be given.
Yes, sir. So if there are 30 staff in your company,
Yeah.
whom you will get more increment and whom you will get less increment?
That is depends on the ratio, but definitely after the dedication of all the clients, the company is making profit.
Sometimes people do have a quota,
Yeah.
because this is this is my person. Let him get the highest increment. Do you have such things in your
But
mind?
if you have if you are biased, then your company won't be making more profit.
Absolutely, sir. My request is that, however good or bad, please be very objective. Avoid from all the distractions. You will get lot of opportunity, get distracted when you start assessing your staff. नहीं आदमी अच्छा है, Sunday भी आता है. Sunday coming on Sunday is not a criteria to promote or to give increment. You have got to be very objective and assess on their performance. And avoid from the distraction, what I call it as neglect distractions. You will come across lot of instances where you will get distracted when it comes to evaluation of your staff, because if you are objective, you are professional in assessing, the bad man knows why he did not get increment. He knows. But the good man will feel very bad if he didn't get what he deserved. And he said, hey, company mein kuch professionalism nahi hai. So you have to reward the good performer, stay away from the distractions. So, 2 takeaways in terms of relationship or management with the staff, instill courage and commitment, neglect distractions. Good enough? We'll go to the next step in terms of customers. Relationship management with customers, how to remain expert and responsive with your customers. I'm going to put a poster questions for all of you on this. How many of you believe that your customers are unreasonable in their demands? How many of you feel or your customers are unreasonable in their demands and why? Please, you are all experts in business. I am not an expert in business. Please share your experience. We all taken an oath at the beginning of the conference. When any speaker talks on that, we will never speak. Please speak. Yeah. Yes, sir. This is a knowledge session for you, not for me.
We feel they are unreasonable because they ask for the maximum service possible at the minimum price. That's the reason we feel they are unreasonable. And every year the price keeps on falling.
Fair.
What they are willing to offer us.
Good. Thank you, sir. Big round of applause. I think you volunteered. Thank you, sir. I really respect that. Yes, sir.
Performance, we have to meet every time their expectations in regard to performance. Sometimes we deliver the good within 2 days, they will say, "Arey yaar, ek din mein kar do delivery." So performance is again price factor, sir has told. Second is performance.
Fair enough. Yeah, 2 दिन का 1 दिन को करने को बोलते हैं, 1 दिन का आधा दिन का सर. Fine. Yes. Anybody else? Why do you? Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a mic. I'm just checking
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah. Do you want to repeat what he said, sir, for the benefit of others?
Hello.
Yeah.
Customers generally become unreasonable when they are faced with a particular situation, basically. Generally, they are not unreasonable. When their backs are to the wall, they suddenly become very unreasonable and they don't want to listen, irrespective of whatever the situation is.
Yeah. As I said earlier that some places we are also customers to our vendors. And yes, sir.
They become unreasonable because with the best of services, they still don't want to pay.
That's right. Best of the day, they don't want to pay. That's okay. The operational issues definitely will be there. But more important thing, generally, if you want to see the big corporates who have done very well, who are the Fortune 500, they follow two things. One, they stay focused on end result. So that doesn't, when they stay focused means each and every staff who is doing that, 50% of the problems is within the company in any organization. The IT doesn't get along with marketing, marketing doesn't get along with operation doesn't get along with finance, and customer will always want to ask. If you look inside and you see that you each one work together like a team, stay focusing on the end results, even the finance should be feeling committed that yes, customer satisfaction is equally important, his role, not the person who is in the operations side. I'm talking from my experience. Each one of them should be stay focused on end results and practice what you preach. If you have promised delivery in 24 hours, usko zarurat nahi hai, Sunday, Monday dega, but you practice whether he needs or doesn't need. So these are the two takeaways I want you to take as far as the customers are concerned. Stay focused on end results, practice what you preach. You see, you will earn the respect from the customers. No doubt about it. They will make you the payment on time. Just try it out. The third one on the vendors, how to develop vendors who are alert and active. This is the poser question for these vendors. I am putting, what consideration do you apply while selecting your vendors? When you want to select vendors, please some responses. Can I have some responses on this? Yes, sir, on the mic.
Reliability and ability.
Perfect. Reliability and ability. Very true. Any other? Yes, sir. Sorry, can you speak on the mic?
Sir, guarantee on payment.
Guarantee on payment. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me,
Fair
sir.
enough.
Sir,
Because
we-
you're all lot of family-owned businesses. You have transactions with families also. They are in allied business. Yes.
Sir, we look at their past performance.
Who is that? Yeah. Yes, sir.
We look at their past performance.
Performance. Very good.
We see what kind of clients they have handled in the
Very
past. Based on that, we decide.
Very true. Yes, sir. Sorry?
Transparency in
Transparency. Very
in
nice.
your all performance as well as costing, everything,
Perfect.
how the vendor is going to offer.
Very good. Very good. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would basically look at the structure of the vendor. Basically, what are the type of office, what are the employees they have, what types of employees they have, and what is the monitoring system they have to evaluate themselves.
Very good. Really impressed. Yes, sir.
So while customers demand from us, we start demanding from vendors.
Fantastic. Yeah, basically because you are dependent on them for you to
Sir,
serve your.
who fit in our system or my system?
Yes.
Because it may be that the vendor may be very big and not
Yeah.
fit in my system. So who fit in my system is perfect for me.
Correct. Absolutely. Actually, I'm so impressed that this on the vendors, so many responses came, and I'm not going to say something new. The two takeaways I thought, first is an impartial assessment. You make an assessment, somebody said past performance, the record, track record, etc. You are not guided by any other considerations, especially in the family-owned businesses. There's always a balance between you have got to draw a line between business and the family, be it in immediate family or extended family. Impartial assessment has to be done and rally around the strengths. What are the strengths of the vendor? Because his strengths, you can translate it into your own strengths to service your customers. Good? Are you happy with that? Two takeaway messages when it comes to managing the vendors: impartial assessment, rally around the strengths. And the fourth and the final segment on the family, how to foster and nurture a graceful family. This is one of the most difficult area of management, I know that. But in that, I have got two poster questions on that. How many of you have a structured professional discussion with family members? There could be husband, wife, children, daughters, and yes, sir. You have a structured professional discussion with family members. Very good. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
even though you are having 90% shareholding.
No.
Sorry?
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I have a structured discussion.
Regardless of the person.
Yes.
Because normally we tend to say, "Usko kya pata? I know better." Truly, from the bottom, is your wife here? No.
No, that's why I'm able to answer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very important in all these family places that you should evolve consensus because they are as much interested in your growth business. Because after all, business growth for what? We should have a good family life. If you cannot sleep for 8 hours, peaceful sleep, what is the use of making all this money? So please evolve consensus. The other one, which is a poster question for family, do you sufficient personal time to your family? Yeah? Never. Why, sir? Why? Our business is like that. How many of you agree like that? You have booked a holiday for Leh Ladakh, you cancel that. Say, let me go to Mundra port and do the clear. वो तो रोज का करने का है ना? Not possible? But if you want to do it, you can do it. Huh? Yes, sir. You do it. You go for holiday. Very good. So, demonstrate willpower. Not only you should have the willpower, demonstrate the willpower to have a graceful family nurture. 2 things you remember. Evolve consensus, demonstrate willpower. Time to conclude very quickly. The 8 takeaways we saw. Staff, customer, vendor and family. Let's look at that. When it comes to staff, instill courage and commitment, neglect distractions. When it comes to customers, stay focused on end result, practice what you preach. When it comes to vendors, impartial assessment, rally around the strengths. And when it comes to family, evolve consensus, demonstrate willpower. What it means, you become inspired. Easy to remember for you. Be an inspired person to take Inspired India. You might say that these are all good to know, but it's also great to practice. सर ये सब ठीक है आपको बुला दिया है कि ओके यू आर स्टार्टिंग सम न्यू प्रोग्राम मौका देते आपने बात कर लिया बट हकीकत में ये सब नहीं होएगा यू नो इन प्रैक्टिकली इट डजंट हैपन मोस्ट ऑफ यू माइट बी थिंकिंग लाइक दैट सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक 3 more minutes to give a small anecdote. In those good old days, Guru Shishya Parampara, the Guru gives a test to the disciples in a very subtle way. So this Guru who has got 3 disciples, of which one is champion, but the other 2 still needs improvement. So he calls 3 of them and gives them a test. I call it a matka test or a pot test. What it is, some of you must have known about this. A wooden, a mud pot is kept in the corner of the room, nothing else is there. He calls these 3 disciples, students, and asks student number 1, showing at the matka, tell me what it is there. He just says, nothing is there. He said, sit. He calls the second student, tell me what it is inside the pot. He is a bit logical, chartered accountant like me. He doesn't comment unless he verifies. He goes there, put his hand together. Sir, there's nothing. He has verified, nothing. So he asks the third person, who is intelligent, whom the Guru feels is the best. He said, there's air inside. Hawa to hai, how can he say nothing is there? So that was, okay, the first 2 students felt, isme kya badi baat hai, theek hai, hawa hai to hawa hai. But the Guru said, that is only 50% of the test. I'm going to go to the next 50% of the test, which is called the Matka pot test number 2. He calls the first student and he says, now remove the air. He said, पागल हो गया पहला कुछ बोलता कुछ नहीं है वो तो हवा है अभी वो सब नहीं होएगा मेरे से नहीं होएगा lazy fellow आलसी ना बैठ गया and second fellow logical chartered accountant like me remove the air so जाता है ऐसा he goes and breaks the pot. Guru says I told you to remove the air not to break the pot. What did you do? So he puts the new pot again and asks the most intelligent person, now remove the air. And what he did, he started filling the pot with water. As the pot became filled with water, the air went away. Imagine this air in the pot is like all those your 40, 50 years of experience. Our negative experience which is stored, ये सब नहीं होएगा. ये था अभी क्या सीखने का. Now it is time for me to retire and somebody says now you learn some new things. Those are all like air. If you feel these 8 takeaway messages are like water, start putting that. Slowly, slowly that apne aap nikal jayega, and hopefully you'll be seeing the change, because when you are seeing yourself happy, you will spread happiness around, and you see the total change on that, because we are what we are and we are what we think. So in short, mind power is inward directed, approach is proactive, it's up to you. No hard and fast rule. If you want to do it, you can do it. And results are truly magical. I'm telling my own experience. And thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate this audience, a very interactive audience. I think Dushyant sir, I stuck to 30 minutes. Thank you. I'm open to take any questions.
We have a question and answer session. Sir.
I would like to take the liberty of asking your good self, why are you called SB and not SV? It's SV, short form is SV, okay, sorry.
I will give one anecdote. I work for Cabot Corporation. It's a US based company. The CFO came from Florida. I said, she's there for 10 days, let me send her to Elephanta on a weekend. So she came on Monday. She said, SV, I didn't know that you are so famous in Bombay. I said, what? The entire stretch, 8 kilometers, is called SV Road. Oh, I said, oh, yeah, I get royalty for that. Nothing, sir. I work for a German company. My father's name is Subramaniam. My name is Venkateswaran. If you go to Balaji, you will remember Venkateswara. But German cannot speak English and forget about telling my name. And when I went to American company, he shortened Subramaniam into Subra. And further he shortens to whatever it is. I thought, let me just make it small, So it became easy for them. Otherwise, they were finding it very difficult to call my name, and it somewhat like a brand name for me. Thank you so much for that. I think no other specific reason for that. Any your thoughts here?
Sir, you mentioned about managing vendors, customers, family, but I noticed that you excluded friends. Friends are also a very important part in our life. So why did you omit that? Managing friends. Number one. Number two, wouldn't you agree that these days we in our families are, everybody, all family members are very much busy with social networking, but perhaps we fail to network in our own families. So how to manage that?
I will answer your question with two answers. One, this 4 segments was given by the organization committee. That's not a problem. But let me tell you, friends are part of the family. Swami Parsadi says, make family as center of affection, not boundary of affection. First, keep the family, have a best relationship, and then spread the happiness to other circle of friends, extended family. So whatever is applicable to family is applicable to friends also. Friend is an extended family, honestly. So it's true. I got a couple of my Rotary friends, Kishore Parlekar, and he asked, I think we thoroughly enjoy every week meeting. We call ourselves extended family. So, however, that does not mean that you ignore your family and Samaj Seva ke liye. You have to keep your nucleus. That's why he says, your own family is a center of affection, not a boundary of affection. Keep that as center of affection and start spreading the happiness. You will find that. Thank you. Any thoughts, any questions? I'll circulate this PowerPoint presentation to
Sir, I would like to ask you one question that you have told us to manage everyone around us.
Yeah.
Can you please stand up and
How
introduce
about-
yourself?
Can you repeat?
You have informed us, told us about managing everyone around us. What about managing ourselves? Unless we manage ourselves, we won't be able to
Absolutely.
manage anybody around
Absolutely.
us.
You need to manage yourself.
So you need to put some points for that too.
Oh,
I'll
well,
appreciate that. Thank you.
That's a big long. First of all, when you say you to manage yourself, you should know who you are. So that's a very long story. Somebody asked Ramana Maharishi, I don't have any peace of mind. I said, who is not having peace of mind? Who you are? He says, I am Krishnan. That's your name. He said, I'm Subramanian's father. That's your relationship. He says, I'm an Indian. That is your nation. And I'm a human being. That is your race. then who am I? Find out that, who you are. So very important. That I'll start with you separately on that. I touched upon this when I did a half an hour slok in London. So where but we will definitely talk about it on that. Very easy. Very easy. You think what you will. Absolutely, sir. You have to manage your mind, sir. What happens? We manage others' mind. वो ऐसा ही करता, वो ऐसा करता है. We seldom don't look inside.
So you have already said that manage your mind. That is the first statement, and that is the only sentence I have learned.
Sir, our Indian spiritual values are so strong and fundamental. But when I talk about spirituality, people say, 60 साल के बाद after retirement you talk about it. So I do not use any of the spiritual text or anything here. But if you look at chapter 6, 5 slok Bhagavad Gita, it talks about the mind power. Uddare atmana atmanam na atmanam avsadayet atmaiva atmano bandhur atmairupur atmanaha. बस उतना ही है. But ये आत्मा का बारे का, then it become very complicated. What it means, you have a role to play in this world. Manage yourself, be happy, spread happiness. As simple as that. Managing the children is still more complicated. But don't consider that managing them. You be guide to them, philosopher, friend. My son-in-law is here. He will walk.
Okay, one last question from the gentleman at the back, please.
Yeah? Somebody wants to ask.
May I ask you, sir? Yeah. This is Rajkumar. I would like to know how to reapproach a friend who was drifted away from you, like a friend who was parted away from you. I mean, usually it happens in business. So, what is the best reapproachment to the?
Can you repeat your question, please?
How to reapproach a friend who was drifted away from you? I mean, usually it happens in partnerships where a partner leaves you. So, what's the best way to reapproach?
See, relationship are like a flow of water. However you take it away, it will come back. Okay? If it didn't come back, it was not to come back. What is more important thing is, focus on your efforts, not on the outcome. If you start doing things, ye karega to, he will come back. Don't get into that. Try to do your best. And I always tell that, be a magnetic personality to pull the friends towards you. And not a bulldozer to push wo mere paas aane ka nahi. If you manage yourself, you be a personality, he feels like coming to you because you provide so much value with your association with him and not with any expectations from you. Thank you.
Okay, one last question from there.
Yeah. See, sir, when it comes to managing ourselves, is it related to this Freud and Jung theory of, consciously rejecting and subconsciously persisting on situations? How to handle that?
Many people ask this. So subconsciously I know that I have to be nice to that person. But consciously I cannot be like that. How can that be? I know, ये सब मुझे पता है. ये सब ऐसा ही करने का. But when it comes to life situation, मेरे से नहीं होता है. So I told to bring your subconscious thoughts to get manifested in your conscious state of mind. That is the path of spirituality. The spirituality is nothing but to make your subconscious belief getting manifested in your conscious state of mind is spirituality. A little bit complicated, but if you want to do it, do it. You believe it in it, start practicing it, you will get the results. It's nothing impossible, nothing difficult. Thank you.
So, thank you. No more questions, please. We are already running short of time, so we'll close this. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for all your questions. At this time, we'd like to thank our sponsors of course, the knowledge of our knowledge session, Air India Stats. And I'd request Mr. Shailesh Bhatia, to felicitate our tea sponsor, Central Railside Warehouse Company Limited. Mr. Shailesh Bhatia. Senator. Thank you to our sponsor. And now I request Mr. Pramod Soneta to please propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Chairman Sri Debati Sarta, Convention Convener Sri Ashish Padnekar, learned speaker Sri S. Venkateswaran, creator and author of Magic of Mind Power, Session Chairman Sri Sudeep Dey, all the Vice Chairman, Office Bearers of FFI, EC members, friends and colleagues from trade fraternity, our most respected and valued invitee guests from guests, ladies and gentlemen from different parts of India and abroad. It's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of FFI, a big custom broker family, and on my behalf on subject called Relationship Management Intangible Assets to the organization. Sir, I am sure that August gathering is certainly more enlightened and carrying away good things and have also benefited from your presentation. I also thank my friend Sri Sudeep Dey for so ably chairing the session. And most importantly, a special thanks to the August gathering for your wonderful participation. Thank you once again to FFI and all driving force who have made this convention a successful event. Lastly, I end up with saying, a beautiful person will open your eyes, a loving person will open your heart, an intelligent person will open your mind, so that our speaker has did. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Gujarat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Senator. With this, we call the session to a close. But before that, let me just once again thank our tea sponsor, Central Railside Warehouse Company Limited. We will now break for tea. But before that, there's an important announcement. Please pay heed. Guests to check and confirm their departure details at the registration desk with BCHAA representatives before 6 p.m.